Hi, this is Charlie. This is my fifth video, but it should have been my first because I've just realized that 99.9999% of the people really don't know what a dollar bill is. Don't beat yourself up because they don't teach us this in school. So I'm going to do the best I can in as short a time as I can and make it as easy as I can so anyone can understand. These are different, but yet they're almost the same. One is a personal check. One is a federal check. That's all a Federal Reserve note is a check. They're both promissory notes. They're backed by nothing but air. They're backed. The personal check is made by you personally. When you buy merchandise, you fill it out for the amount. It's made out of paper. It's only designed for one use. Not very durable. A federal check is made out of cloth material and is designed for multiple uses. It's already pre-made out in increments of $1, $5, 10s, 20s, 50s, 100s. Now this is how it works though. You're going to be a store owner and you sell only two items in your store. Hammers, for example. One hammer you charge $10 for, the other hammer you charge $1,000 for. Now because this is a federal thing, you have hundreds of millions of people come into your store every single day. I come into a store, I'm going to do the personal check. You take out your checkbook. I want this $10 hammer. You fill it out for $10 to whoever it is. I give you this check because I promise you that there's money in my account. So, on goodwill, you accept my check because you believe that I have money in my account. So, you take my check and then you give me the hammer. I take the hammer home, you deposit the check in the bank. There's money in the bank, everything's good. We do this on and on and on. But one day I got sick and I couldn't show up for work. So my employment check was going to be a little short. So my employer deposits the Federal Reserve notes into my bank account, but there's not as many. So I come into your store one day and I want a hammer and I write you a check. You do the same as always. You trust me. Take my check, give me the hammer, put deposit in the bank, but oops, it bounces. There's not enough money in the account. So the next day I come in and I want to buy a hammer. I get out my checkbook and I start writing it. And you say, hey, wait a minute, Charlie. Yesterday you wrote me a check and there wasn't enough money in the account. You're going to have to make that for $20 to pay for the hammer yesterday and for today. And I told, oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I got sick and my work and my check was a little short, but I'll make up for it right now. So I write the check for $20. I give it to you. You say, okay, I'll let it go. You give me the hammer. You trust me. You deposit the check. I take the hammer home. Everything's fine. Keep doing that. Everything's fine. But then another day comes up. Something happens. I don't have the money in my account. I give you the check. You take it. It bounces. I gotta square up with you again. And then it happens another time. And it happens another time. Pretty soon, you're like, oh, you build that trust is eroding away. So now I come in there one day, and there's two things that can make this go bad. Only thing, this time I come in and I want a $1,000 hammer. I start writing my check for $1,000, and you, the store owner, say, "Hey, Charlie, I'm sorry, but I've had problems with you in the past, and this is a really expensive hammer, so I'm sorry, but I just can't accept your check this time because I just don't believe you that there's enough money in your account to purchase this hammer. So I'm sorry, I don't accept it. But if you want the $10 hammer, I'll let you have the $10 hammer." And then the other scenario, I keep coming in and I don't make good on my checks. It's not very long. You go in there to get a hammer, and the store owner says, "No, no way. I'm not accepting nothing. You're not getting anything from me." The same thing will happen with this. The only difference in this is a little different, and it's more difficult to explain. I'm not going to explain it perfect, but you're going to get the idea. This is like a link in a chain. It's a federal check. That's one link. There's another link in a chain. Goods and services, both in the United States and from other countries. They make products and they bring them into the United States, and you purchase them. There's another link in the chain, is your employment. Another link in the chain are the tax revenues in all their different forms. What your tax revenues do is pay for this. Without tax revenues, you can't pay for this. Now I'm going to get on that subject just a little bit, and then I'll stop on that, because that's a whole nother video. But we're going to say, for example, there's 10 cents in every single dollar. Okay? Every time you purchase something, we're going to have a tax, for example, of 10 cents. So every time you purchase something, 10 cents of whatever you purchased goes back to the government to pay for this dollar. Now you want this dollar to go around a minimum of 10 times from person to person to person purchasing something, but it needs to purchase at least 10 items just to cover the cost of the dollar. What they really want you to do is pass this around like 50 times, for example, because now the first 10 times you passed it around, they made enough to pay for the dollar, but they also made $4 extra, and with that $4 extra, the government is able to pay for other services for you. That's the theory. I mean, it's much more complicated than that, but I'm just trying to get you on the thinking. Okay. Now we're going back to the link of the chain. Any one of these links in the chain, something happens to it, dollar bill goes down. If they lose trust in this, if people don't purchase enough, it goes down. Your employer purchases products, you go to work so that he can sell those products. If you don't go to work, he can't sell and make the products. Link in the chain. I think you're getting the picture. I hope I explained it kind of better than what you knew before. It's more complicated than that, but you get the general idea. So now that you have that and you look at my other videos, you can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. I'll never bash my country, but I'm just going to tell you the way it is, and I don't take sides politically. I'm just saying it the way it is. So thank you, and I'll show you another video another day.